Come on, computer. Computer's always slow in the morning. We can't see your graph? What do you mean you can't see my graph? How can't you see it? Your screen is not working or something? You guys watching on phone on the small window? Come on, guys. Don't be like that. So 4 hour support's right there. This support we'll see if relevant. This we'll see if it's relevant. So let's go down to the 1 hour. Is this relevant? Not anymore. I think this is more relevant right here. 1 hour resistance. So that's no longer relevant. This 4 hour support was the one we just drew. Let's go have a look. Clean up my charts here. Yeah, that's that one. This one, let's see if that one's still relevant. Up here, not really. Not relevant anymore. 30-minute. Yeah, it's a 30-minute zone, but it's not relevant. We have it marked. This 30-minute up here, we've tested it already with the wicks. So that's fine like that. And we are perfect. 15. See what we got going up here. Yeah, we're looking more drag this down to here, something like that. Perfect. So this is a gap here. This is a gap, so we have to be careful with this gap here, but this is a big gap. The rules for trading in gaps is quite tough because we don't normally all gaps are filled, right? So normally all gaps are normally filled by the time, and at some point they do get filled, but trading inside of a gap, like looking for a setup inside of the gap, can be very, very tough because the probabilities are just random because gaps don't count as LTAs. So when you're looking for setups inside of the gap, it's random, but we do expect the gap at some point to be filled. Doesn't have to be filled on the same day. You do not want to buy at the top of the gap, that's for sure. At the top of the gap, you don't want to buy at the top of it. That's for sure, 100%. So we'll see how this manages. Setup twos from here can start to make sense. Above this 1 hour resistance, even though this looks clean, this is a gap. Probabilities here are based on volume. So if I can see support above here, I can look for upside, or any pullbacks that are respecting, these 4 hour range low areas. We can look for upside inside of this range. There's no issues to go and fill that gap eventually and continue towards the upside. So the plan is pretty simple. What's your take on gaps? Oh, there we go. I just answered it. So did that answer all your questions on gap, or do you have anything else? Can you explain why you have this support resist marks as 45? I don't see 45. That's 4 hour support, 4S. All good, all good. So yeah, we have news at 10 a.m. here. So gonna put here waiting for news, but I'm bullish today. We good, we good. Nice, nice. So yeah, that's the rules about trading gap. Can you expand your candles? Guys, I don't know what's going on. Like, you need to not. So yeah, we'll wait here when people need to zoom in, need to zoom in. So yeah, we'll see how this works. It's all we need, right? We just need to wait for the 15-minute candle. More we can't see. It's okay, guys. I'll scale my chart a little bit more. Don't worry. You guys will be able to see. This you should be able to see, right? Realistically, this should be good. If you guys can't see this, then I give up. Thanks, Marco. Appreciate you, my man. Marco's learning so much, so I appreciate him. Appreciate him. You don't have to send in a donation. It's all good. YouTube takes half, so don't waste money with them. Hey Harry, the support with the gap 1 hour, why didn't you mark that support? Because it's a gap. I have the latest 1 hour resistance here, and then the rest is a gap. So I'm not gonna mark the rest if it's a gap. I just asked for a bit. I know, no, whole YouTube chat was going mad. For GBP news, is it bullish if the numbers come out more negative? I think you'll see a spike, but we'll see. We'll see what happens with this news that comes out. This is how I want to be trading. I need to see all of this stuff where we are. You wouldn't take above 770? Let's see the range here. 9 pips. I mean, it could be an option. Yeah, it could be an option. Above 770. Yeah, it to break through here. Yeah, it would be. But I rather wait for news at this point because it's only 10 minutes till news, and a lot, we have to wait for the 15-minute closure anyways. We can't take a trade, so we're waiting for news, and we'll make a decision. We'll make a decision based on that. Chart should be clear now, guys. Chart should be clear. So yeah, let's have a look at gold. Let's have a look at gold. So start off on the daily time frame as always here. Previous daily. So previous daily weak bearish here, keeps rejecting from this zone we have, keeps rejecting. So if it pops back up into that zone again, there's a possibility that if the 4 hours start closing bearish, you can look for sells, because this is not giving you much information, this candle close here. It's not really the best. Let's move down to the 4 hour time frame. It is bullish though. Yeah, and 4 hours just rejecting. So you can see how this zone, we can move it up now, is really just tough. And similarly towards the downside, I think if we make our way down to this 4 hour support and you start seeing rejection, you can buy from the bottom of the range, and price is just going to range in this range before CPI. That's what I was saying in the beginning of the week, and it looks like it's populating. So really keep it mixed, and sells from the top of the range till we break out makes sense with structure, and buying from the bottom of the range also makes sense, which mostly populate during NY. If you see this type of thing happen, buys make sense, simple buys. For now, selling gold, I would be very, very careful selling gold into this support here. Below it, it's potential, but you're selling the low of the range, which is not something you really want to do. Sells really came from up here. This was another option to sell. This one here as well. Now it's getting a bit late to sell. So either you wait for pullbacks, like closes below and pullbacks to continue down, or you're looking for price to populate a support at the bottom of the range here to look to trade back up to the top of the range, since we're just ranging before NY. Morning, Antonio. So that's the analysis on gold. Pretty simple. And yeah, let's see what happens with news here. Maybe not too much of a big move, but we'll see. We'll see. If you guys enjoying 522, appreciate everyone showing up. Can you guys do the YouTube business? You know the YouTube business. Show me that you guys are active. And yeah, if we can get the likes up at least to 250, I'd really appreciate that. Support the channel, support. It's a win-win, right? I support you guys, you support me. Simply works as that. And also, we hit 25K today, so I appreciate everyone for pressing the subscribe button, and greatly appreciate you supporting the channel, and hope it has been supporting you too. So W's in the chat for that. Let's go. And yeah. Yes, sir. Next stop will be 30. We don't stop. We don't stop in the trade shop, fam. Euro GBP, send a chart, man. Send a chart. You're not going to learn without sending a chart. Problem is, if I analyze one and then everyone starts asking, right? Next up, 10 mil. Never say never. Don't make me hop on YouTube to do the business. Oh, you're good, man. So daily closing here, yeah, this is not nice, this daily. Look, this is stuck in a damn range. You should just, every time it comes to the bottom of the range, press buy. Right, 4-hour mixed, more leaning towards... Yeah, man, for me, if any pullbacks, to look for continuation for sells until this target around 0.8579, but not the cleanest pair, man. Not the cleanest pair, I have to say that. $30K before New Year? I hope so. We'll try get that sooner. 1/4 to 100K? Yes, sir. Can you explain tomorrow's trade as there's no clean range when you enter? You mean yesterday's trade? You mean yesterday's trade, right? Yeah, yesterday's trade. Guys, I got a lot of DMs of people asking me how I took yesterday's trade. Yesterday's trade was taken buys of this candle here. You have to understand that this was not a trade that was ripped just off. There is more depth to the way that I trade. You don't always have to, using your high time frame analysis can allow you to get into certain positions. And this was something we were planning 2 weeks ago, identifying this zone. And this is not something that I can just explain in 5 minutes. You have to understand the process of what zone we came back to. In the webinars, in the exclusive group, I explained this zone and I said yesterday that we're back in this zone. If we see rejection, we could take an early option towards the upside. This was clean till here. I can use this as a range to take my trade towards the upside and anticipate and trust my higher time frame analysis to play out. And if your higher time frame analysis play out, you catch a move like this and it works out. I also did say buys above this zone here also makes sense. So if you missed this, people were able to take short-term buys here, and above here was a little bit tough. I would say that's late by then. But that trade was taken because we were planning it, and it's very hard to explain without, I did explain it to the group, and that was a progressive thing. So it started with 2 weeks ago when we first talked about the zone in the webinar, and then talking about rejection from that zone, and then looking for price to respect that zone, and then so on and so on and so on. So that's how that trade was taken. It was taken through a higher time frame and a different thought process, right? So that was taken through a different thought process, and it's the same. Look, it's the same type of thought process that was taken, and I write it up. See, look at this. This was the same similar type of trade, right? Counter trend, higher time frame buys, same trade with the same type of thing happened. Can you see that, guys? Come back to a zone, that type of thing. It's the same sort of thing, right? And I explain it for them to read, so they can read that right there, right? So it's something that will you can't just explain like based on a setup. It's from understanding higher time frame. But no, that was a very explained trade. Could you please explain it? I think everyone will love it. It will take 40 minutes to explain, because most of you guys won't understand because you wouldn't have understood what I was talking about before. AUD USD 0.62200. Will it break it? Let's see. AU 64,200. Your target would be 64. That would be your target for sales, right? Yeah, so for dailies closed bullish here back in the range, but rejecting this type of zone up here. Yeah, 4 hours also closed bullish. But it's at target already, right? So we just discussed that in the last in the content, guys, when prices reach target already. So check that out in exclusive content, by the way. 1 hour, yeah, I think if you can close below 200, it might be an option. Yeah, safer is below this level here, below like 171 is safer. But yeah, selling 2 here could be also an earlier option, but it's not the safest because you could just range in here. It was a zone that was planned a while back, and if you can use that analysis, you'll be able to take trades without you relying on your higher time frame bias and you don't always need LTA because when volume is on your side, it's going to push through zones. Right? That's basically how it what is the basis of it. So that's it in a nutshell. It's basically using your high time frame zones that you have to learn to identify and relying on volume to push through the resistance and continue in the direction. It is a slightly riskier trade for sure. Daily support 697, not irrelevant. 697. Where do I have it marked at 697? Well, I'm not trading really. It's already been tested like 1,000 times inside of this range, so I don't really consider anything. Yeah, this one right here. Yeah, it could be relevant, but inside of the range, it doesn't matter, right? Because look, if you draw a line like this inside of the range, right? And then we go back to 15-minute. You can see it's just in the middle of the range. It's like it's not really, it's been tested here, nothing happened. It's been went through once. Now it's just going above it, going below. It's not really something we need to worry about because it's just inside of a range. Like we've tested it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times. 1 minute till news, guys. What do we think? Up or down? Sent you a chart in Discord DM. I do not look at DMs, man. I can't look at DMs all the time. I only look at DMs when I can. Up? I'm hoping it goes up. Pick up? Hope so. Down in Uganda. Bearish on the pound. We'll see. 43 seconds. I expect nothing much to happen. That's what I expect. Because it's already priced in from yesterday's move. Yesterday's move was today's news priced in. That's what I expect. Up to close the gap? Yes, to close the gap would be cool. We'll see. Might go down to 500, pick liquidity, and then flip. 7 seconds. Let's see. Don't do anything stupid, guys. All right. Well, there's your upside. Here we go. Yes, sir. Damn, nice, nice. Sheesh. Pretty nice. Well, there's the upside. Should come up here to fill this gap, probably. I wouldn't expect it, but it might take its time. I don't see why the 4 hour doesn't come up till around at least 184. 184 is a target that I do think will be eventually hit. Let's see what news came out as. 0.9K. What? Amazing numbers. That's crazy. Damn, not even a K. From 29K to 0.9? That can't be right. Not bad, not bad. So good numbers came out. Bit of a spike. And that's that. So News done, we can go to sleep. So now we just follow the plan. Now we follow the plan. We wait for a setup and we take it. So the nice thing is we have a wick as a target here. 1 hour does not have a bottom wick, which is interesting. At any time, I do expect this probably. It could flip here. It wouldn't surprise me. Yes, Goon, yes. Nipple wick for you? Okay, cool. Sell at 890. Nice. Good job for calling tops and calling bottoms. Rishi doing his things with numbers. It's trying. Well, here's the news. News is done. No need that anymore. If the news was so good, why didn't GBP keep going? Profit taking. Everyone would FOMO into news. You think these markets are going to make it that easy that when news comes out good, it just continues pushing and everyone can press buy and everyone makes money? No way. They're going to use that liquidity to sell off positions for sure. That's why that's why I never recommend to trade news, because if it was that easy, we would all be multi-millionaires, just go full margin with whatever the direction news comes out as. Made 600 trading the news. Thanks for the tips. Oh, good. Well done. Make sure to preserve that 600. Don't go below it trying something stupid. Here, the bottom wick might come. I hope we don't get stuck in this range today. That'd be a little bit boring. Bring out the lobster? Yeah, we need to bring out the lobster soon. Appreciate everyone showing up today. Pleasure to have you on stream. Make sure to do the YouTube business if you haven't already. 700 of in here, only 200 likes. Come on, man. We're lacking. We're lacking now. We're lacking. The goal is to get this to maybe today we can get 1,000 viewers on stream. Maybe today we can get 1,000 views on stream, and then I have to give you guys a free webinar. That's my gift back to you. It's a win-win situation. So we'll see. So if you can support the stream, I greatly appreciate it. And I always want a win-win, right? You support me, I support you. That's how it should work. That's how it should work. Show some love for showing up here live. Hopefully we get some positions, but yesterday's position was amazing, guys. Yesterday's position was amazing. Planned it out, called it out. Sometimes it's just going to come after stream, and that's why it's good to have somewhere where I can discuss positions. We can't be streaming for 4 or 5 hours. That's not effective to my day. And yeah. So you attract 1,000 and then you work more because I build a brand. That's a win-win, right? I just be addicted to gambling? Nah, man, that's not good, man. That's not good. Don't be addicted to gambling. No good. It's mostly a win. I obviously do more for them. But that's, it's in good things. Like, it's on good terms because many of the industry, it's like they say, oh, if you want to find out more information, buy my course, and then they get messed up. Whereas if I can give all of this information out, at least it helps people be on the right side of trading. And then I feel like I've done my job. We looking for longs? Yeah, I do think today buys make sense. We just need to find a way to get in. The problem is today is quite a tough day on GJ, guys. It's not going to be the easiest day. If you're here for an easy trade, it's going to be tough because of this gap here. This gap kind of messes up a lot of things. This gap messes up a lot of things. Because trading inside of gaps is probabilities are like you're just relying on volume to fill the gap eventually, right? And we kind of wanted to trade from here to here and then fill the gap. Well, that's already done because of news, right? News has already gone and filled our trading zone. So now kind of what we have to wait for is we need to wait for a close above here and structure to form, and then we can rely on that structure to hold and fill that gap. It's a big gap. Yeah, it's pretty decent. I mean, there's only 9 pips to where you'd see rejection. You'd see rejection at this wick here because that would be the gap considered filled. I believe there's a lot of sell orders at that wick right here. A lot of sell orders right at this wick here. You'd probably get away with selling at this wick, but knowing what the markets do, it will probably push 15 pips above that. Which is why we would plan to buy towards this wick here. And once you buy towards this, you could go break even, which is around that 184 level, so it makes sense. Buys is going counter trend? No, it's not going counter trend because of the 4 hour. Look how the 4 hour is populated, right? Gaps would be a good topic for Sunday's video. Yeah, we can do that. We just talked about it briefly that gaps are not LTAs, and most gaps are already filled by the time we get to the market. Generally, you just don't trade in gaps, full stop. Like, that's what you should do. Whenever there's a gap in the market, don't trade in it. Today's high is 900. Well, we did reach 960, so 900 is I do think that we could see over, yeah, it might pull back and stuff like that, but we don't know till that happens. I think you should make a video on yesterday's trade like yesterday. That's mostly, stuff that I want to make sure that people understand, and I can't make videos on everything because making a YouTube video just like that, people are not going to understand the concept and they're going to use it wrong and it's not going to work for them. So I rather you be in an environment where I can walk you through that time and time and time again. It's a situational based thing. It's from higher time frame understanding. I explain it in the exclusive group all the time. And it takes, even they're not going to get it the first time. It's going to take them time and time of finding that higher time frame understanding. Put long or short position, put both, whichever one goes into profit, close it. What causes gaps to happen? Yeah, for people who don't know what gaps happen, basically gaps is trading that is done over the weekend. So even though the markets are closed, trading still happens. And whenever orders get filled during the weekend, it results in the liquidity provider, once they open, they get the next nearest price, but that might not be the price that the market's closed at, and it leaves a gap. My bias for GJ today is bullish. No, the market is creating higher highs and higher lows. It's coming from a key zone. Look at it's rejecting from a very key 4 hour support. We rejected from that. We're creating nice support towards the upside. We closed above this resistance. We're closing back inside of our 4 hour range. There's no reason why this can't drive up a little bit more before maybe rejecting at these highs to continue down bearish. That is also possible. All right, cool. Looks like we're getting up. I should have held my buy order at 240, but had a plan and stick to it. Well, yeah, then you shouldn't have held it. Exactly what Goldinium said. Stick to your plan is way more valuable than holding. The market, I should have, could have, would have, always. Oh, I should have done this. I wish I did that. If only I did this. If I would trade like that, if I would have traded with shoulda, coulda, woulda, if I should have done this, I wish I did that, I would be a multi-millionaire. Because if I held trade, I used to trade GJ back when it was below 149. I watched GJ bounce off 149 again and again and again and again, and today it's at 183. What if I just held even a one lot from there? You know Don Vo? I don't know him personally, no, but I know he's a streamer. Wait, you can trade during the weekend? No, you can't trade during the weekend, but there is trading going on the weekend. There is exchange of currency during the weekends. So yeah. Positive swaps would be wild. You do get positive swaps for holding positions in certain directions. I think if you hold a GJ short, you get positive swaps. I'm pretty sure. I'll have to recheck that. Don't quote me on that. I'm very new. I'm just curious if you're using one specific strategy. I'm trying to decide where I should best spend my time learning. Yes, you should best spend your time learning one specific strategy that is proven and consistent. And I personally trade price action. It's what's worked for me. And I'm just here sharing my experience based on that. And if it makes sense to you, then you should stick to it, but give it time. The biggest mistake you make as a beginner is switching strategy because it doesn't work for a couple of days. Hold longs on GJ would be positive swaps? Okay, cool. Imagine holding from that price. Yeah, exactly, right? Huge lobsters. I don't think we can get a position because of the gap. Yeah, it will be hard. We need to see structure. It will definitely be structure. So at that point, Goldinium, if you're in that position, you're worrying about something that is outside of your control. You can't treat it month to month. What if you have a break-even month? It's not going to be the worst thing, right? You have to account for times like that. That is outside of